Okay, fifth grade, it is that time of year again for our yearbook cover design contest. Each year for the past 4 years, fifth graders have been asked by the PTA to design a yearbook cover, and the past 2 years they've picked a few for the cover design, the back cover design, and some are put inside the yearbook. So when you're planning out your cover design, you want to think about the border. That's one area you could think of. And your design is totally up to you. It doesn't have to look like this. This is just an idea to get you started. A border might look like this. Or you might decide to use a border that has other elements of your school day, like PE, music, library, art, things that you do in the classroom. Of course, because this is going to be a cover design, just like the cover of a book, you have to have a title. And the title of this is our school name and our school year, because we want people to recognize what school year this cover is for. And if you see in this example, the person who designed this one for their school, they used the entire area. It's big, it's bold, it's colorful. Making a great picture is key to a good design. Make it interesting. What are some things that remind you of school? It could be the different special areas, or something about science, or math. Something that's going to be interesting. I particularly like this one because it has a boy and he's looking through a magnifying glass. It's a great picture. And of course, your picture should relate to school. We can't have a picture about monster trucks because monster trucks don't really relate to our school day. So keep it about school. Make it interesting. I like this one. You can see that the cover and back cover are all together, but the person who designed this for their school, they used just simple line drawings. They probably used a black Sharpie and just created a bunch of little drawings like graffiti to remind them of school. And the bit of color that they added were some splotches of color, and it looks like a banner of color. So don't be afraid to be different. Just really first sit and think, what do you want your cover design to look like? What are some ideas? And you might sketch out a few ideas. You can submit more than one design. And when you are submitting your design to me, make sure you label the back side with your name and your room number so we know if yours wins, who to contact. Now, like I said, a great picture is really important to a good yearbook cover design, but also making your lettering stand out. You can't have little itty-bitty lettering because we need to recognize that it is our school. You might want to add our mascot, and our mascot, of course, is the bulldog. You don't have to add the mascot, but some of you might want to. Your mascot doesn't have to be realistic. You could make a cartoon mascot. Maybe you just want to do the mascot's face. Maybe you're just going to make kind of an abstract bulldog and maybe just use shapes. You can recognize that that is a bulldog, but it's primarily made of shapes that you can recognize. Or if you want, you can draw out the full bulldog in detail. Whatever you decide to do, I'm sure is going to be great. But here are some tips or reminders for a great design. Neat lettering has a big impact. It's very hard to read something lettering that's done quickly or is too small. You want it neat and big. Have your picture fill the empty space. You don't want to have a big sea of white paper and this little itty bitty drawing. Make your picture fill the space completely. Coloring completely and neatly makes a great impression. You know yourself that you like to look at pictures or things that are colored neatly, so take the time and do that for your design. And lastly, and I think is most important, be creative. Think of something that no one else has thought of. You've had probably a few yearbooks from our years past now. Don't do what you've already seen. Try to come up with something really creative. You have until the first week in May, and during class I will give you the exact due date. But be creative and good luck.